Hi crafty pals, it's Melanie at Crafter in the Creek. Welcome to my next video. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to use the Balloon Builders stamp set by Stampin' Up and the punch that coordinates with the large and the smaller regular balloon shape. As you can see from this set, there are lots of different shaped balloons with like a watercolour wash to them, and you can use these to make animals. I've seen them used to make dancers, I've seen them used as jelly beans, I've seen them used as flowers, and I thought to myself, I really like orchids. I wonder if I can use the Balloon Builders stamp set to make an orchid. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. So I'm going to actually have a go at watercolour today. It's not something that I've done before, well, maybe a very long time ago, but it's not something that I've done recently. So this is a piece of the Stampin' Up's watercolour paper. I'm just going to grab the stamp that I want to use. Oops, got sequin stuck to my block. Which is unusual because I'm not a blingy girl, so for me to have sequins about. Okay, so I just put the stamp onto the block, and I don't know if you noticed I turned it upside down to just double check to make sure everything's stuck. Now, with the photopolymer stamps, I don't ever tend to have any problems with things dropping off, but you know, for the sake of the 10 seconds it takes to do, then it's worth it. This balloon is actually upside down, so if I stamp it the other way up, I've then got to trim to make sure I can fit the stamp in the punch. Right, okay, so I need to do 5, and I'm doing 5 with pink pirouette. So I'm going to start here and work my way back. Block to one side and close up the ink. Now I'm going to get Calypso Coral, and I'm going to grab a blender pen because I just want to put, I'm going to turn it the other way up for now. I just want to put a small amount of the Calypso Coral at the end, kind of the knot end of the balloon. It's going to look really dark to start with, so don't worry about that. I'm going to try and whenever you use the blender pens, it takes up quite a lot of the ink, so you just scribble, 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 scribble until it draws clear. And because I used the tip on a slant, I want to make sure that I've got the end clear as well. Okay, now okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but what I did is I put a bit of a blob of Calypso Coral at the very tip where the knot end of the balloon is. That, to be honest, didn't work too well. It didn't spread like I thought it was going to spread, so what I then did is I dipped a little bit of the Calypso Coral with the wet brush, the watercolour brush, and just kind of phased it down the balloon. Now, what the idea is that they kind of look natural like a petal, so you know, it has darker patches, it has lighter patches, it has gaps and all that kind of stuff. But I think for my first attempt, yes, it's got a dark centre, but that won't matter because it's going to actually be covered up. So I think for my first attempt it actually turned out really well. So this is the punch, and that's the balloon we're using. As you can see, you understand now why I said it was a bit easier for me if I stamped it upside down. Make sure you don't start at this end, because otherwise you will end up stamping through one of your balloons. So stamp at the far end. The next thing I'm going to do, and you don't have to do this on watercolour, you can just do this on regular Whisper White, which is all these scraps here. I'm going to stamp the egg-shaped one in pink pirouette. This is going to become the centre of my flower. And I'm going to grab a blender pen again, and using the Calypso Coral, I'm just going to go around the edge, part of the edge of the piece. So right, now I'm going to cut that out. There we go. Okay, now what I want to do is I'm going to put it together. So here's the finished product. As you can see, I popped the centre of the flower up using the Stampin' Dimensionals, and I used a strip of Pretty Petals Designer Series paper stack on the bottom in Calypso Coral. I used a few of the pearls and also a piece of the silver metallic thread just under the Thanks a Bunch greeting, which comes from Sprinkles of Life, punched out with the word window punch. Altogether, I'm really pleased how it turned out. The centre of the flower, maybe I should have watercoloured it, but I think all in all, for my first attempt at watercolouring and my attempt at making a orchid with a set of balloons, I think to turn this to this, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. If you are interested in any products, I'd love to be your demonstrator. You can just click on the Shop With Me link on the right hand side of my blog, and thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.